Hello, welcome, herzlich willkommen, dobro došli. I welcome you from NetCologne, and my name is Ivan Andric. I'm responsible for the system engineering at the business customer division of a carrier called NetCologne, and I would like to show you a case study about a captive portal solution that we have running for several years. And we will start with a short agenda with an overview. I will show you about who is NetCologne, what we are doing, our Wi-Fi history, how long we are doing Wi-Fi, what is hotspot.koeln, the structure of the carrier grade captive portal solution that we have made, our MikroTik powered network, and the result of this solution. NetCologne is a regional city carrier in the area of Cologne. On the left part you see the city of Aachen. This is our sister or daughter, Net Aachen, and the dark blue area is our area. It goes to Düsseldorf and to the Ruhrgebiet a little bit. And on the right side you see our headquarter building, a lot of glass outside and inside. So it's funny in the summer when it's very hot, and it's funny in the winter when it's really cold inside of the building. What kind of services we are offering? NetCologne is a typical carrier. We have all the typical carrier stuff for private customer, for business customers, and we have a huge fiber installation. We started in 2003, 2004 with fiber to the building, fiber to the home, and actually we have nearly 400,000 residential customers connected to our network, and nearly 300,000 of them are connected over our own fiber structure. We have also a DOCSIS cable TV solution, and we are an MVNO, a virtual mobile operator. And of course we have all that typical business customer stuff like internet connections, leased lines, and so on. Our Wi-Fi history starts 40 years ago. In 2004 we made an installation at the Cologne Trade Fair. As we know, it was the biggest installation at this indoor installation at this time, with about 450 access points, and it was needed for the photokina. Everybody of you who's making photos, like to make photos, know the photokina. It's the world's leading trade fair of photography in the world, and so we started there. In 2005 we had the World Youth Day and the Pub of the Village in Cologne, and we made some additional access points in the city, and it was a little bit the start, but it was not really that we have money for that and so on. And we run wider with installation of hotels, hospitals, event location, and enterprise customers that we have made. In 2006 we made a smaller installation at the VIP area of the Rhein Energy Stadium, the stadium of the 1. FC Köln. Maybe you know that football club that will unfortunately play next year in the second Bundesliga and not in the first one, but this is another story. And in 2013 we started with hotspot.koeln, And on the Christmas market, on the Rokaliplatz. The Rokaliplatz is a big place directly at the Cologne Cathedral, and is, I think, the biggest Christmas market in Cologne that we have. In 2014, we made a new installation in the Rhine Energy Stadium with about 220 APs for up to 50,000 users, and we have more than 80,000 users per game in this stadium. And it's a real good and huge installation, and people were coming from Russia to see that for the installations in their stadiums for these World Games this year. Currently, we oversee more than 1,500 access points. This belongs to my group, and we have another group at NetCologne that handled with access points. This is our Schulen ans Netz, schools on the network, or schools to the internet, and there we have more than 2,200 access points in the schools. These are about 500 schools that they are connected. Not all of them have access points already, but the most of them are connected to our fiber network. And in 2018, right now, we are starting with an additional 200 outdoor access points in the city. And how it started, I told you the Christmas market at the Rokaliplatz, and as they told us, we should have a Wi-Fi on that market, and we looked how we can do the installation. You know, maybe the typical Christmas market, many booths there, no huge things, and it's really tricky to make an installation there. But there was one point, it was a Christmas tree. And the Christmas tree is not one tree, it's part of 30, 40, 50 trees that are connected there, and it's about 25, 30 meters high. And at this time, we placed the access points into this tree to have the coverage around of this market. And you see on the right side the login screen with a cathedral in the back. And so this was the starting of hotspot.koeln, and it's a real political thing in Germany to have a Wi-Fi in the city. And today we are now here in Berlin, and Berlin and Cologne is always matching a little bit about the internet capital city of Germany. And so it's always a little bit a race who has a larger installation or who has the most users. What is hotspot.koeln? Hotspot.koeln is a free Wi-Fi for visitors, for residents to surf in the city, to visit the city. And we have more than 500 outdoor access points are installed in the city. And we have an average today of 55,000 users per day. You will see more statistic later on for that. The requirements for that solution, you have seen that we have a history of Wi-Fi and also a history of capital portals, and we are not very happy with that solution that we have in the past. And the new requirements was a comprehensive Wi-Fi coverage, an automatic roaming between the locations, so it's not you're leaving location A and you are walking to location B and you have to log on again. You have your time of 1 hour, 2 hours free time, and you can roam through the whole city and have your access. Yeah, you have a real Wi-Fi roaming there. We wanted to have location-based services to give the people information about what you can see at this location or what kind of services you can get there. Also some advertising. In Cologne, on the places, we have a lot of events. One of the biggest is the Carnival. Yeah, everybody knows Carnival in Cologne is very famous. But we have a marathon, we have street days, and so on. And one of the places is the Heumarkt, and there is place for 7,000 people. So we have also coverage, usage for 7,000 people at that time. Broadband access, okay, we have the coverage, we need a broadband access. Out and indoor coverage, multilingual and multi-tenant capable portal systems, because we have to divide also for different locations and also for different customers. So we are carrier and we love multi-tenant solutions, and so it was clearly for us that we need a portal system with a multi-tenant solution. And the integration of existing Wi-Fi installations, because not all the access points that are connected to this network belongs to us. It belongs to the city, it belongs to the hospital, and so on. So we only need a layer 2 access to that network to offer the service. Here you can see the Rhine in the middle, the left and the right side of Cologne, and the actual coverage are the green dots. The blue dots are planning for this year, and the red dots that are a little bit tricky. So we are looking how to solve this places or how to establish this. And the red dots on the upper left side, this is the zoo of Cologne. And yesterday we got the sign to make also the Wi-Fi in the zoo. So each ape, each elephant will have also Wi-Fi access in the future. Okay, it's not only to have an internet connection. Hotspot.koeln is not only an internet connection thing, it's also an Internet of Things solution. We have in Cologne a street called Climate Street. So the Climate Street has a real name, but this is not the thing. The Climate Street is a street where we can test sensors, where we can test Internet of Things solutions, and so on. And everybody is interested to act there. And on the left photo you can see an access point of us. It's about 6-7 meters high. The range to the other access point is on a next lamp is about 120 meters. And we are doing mesh between there. So one access point is connected with fiber, and we have mesh to the left and mesh to the right side. The photo in the middle you can see is a sensor, and this kind of sensor is able to measure air pollution, light pollution. We have too much light in the city. They can measure is there a car parking under this sensor, and so on. So it's a real nice installation for testing Internet of Things solutions. How does the Capture portal looks like, or what kind of stuff we have there? The main components are the cloud core router of MikroTik. You know, hopefully everybody, the hotspot solution inside of the router OS. And we made some things with that, but we needed a larger database. We need other web pages. We need multi-tenant. We need redundancy. We need load balancing and all the stuff. And so we decided to work together with the company MikroTik. They have the booth outside. And this was a development the last years of the A3 Manager. The A3 Manager is a solution that talks with the cloud core router and is doing all the things that we need and is giving reaction or commands back to the cloud router what they have to do. So the redirection is doing by the cloud core router, and the web page is on the A3 Manager. The database is on the A3 Manager, and so on. And we have two main things we have with what we're doing with MikroTik. The one thing is the portal switch. We call it the portal switch, and why? You will see later on. The portal switch collects all the VLANs that are distributed to the portal router. And each VLAN is a location. So we have a total layer 2 connection between the user outside in the field and to the VLAN interface of the portal router. It's a completely layer 2 connection because we need the MAC address. Yeah. We have to offer DHCP and so on. The portal router is that guy that is doing the real hotspot function with a redirection of the page to the A3 Manager captive portal web page. He is doing DHCP, DNS, routing, NAT, firewalling, all that stuff that you need there. And in the history, we saw that if you are running all that things on one solution, like a Linux server, you will see that you will have real problems with the physical interface of the server. You need a very, very expensive, a good card in the server. Why? These normal cards in the servers are optimized for layer 3 connections. So they are optimized for IP. They are not optimized for layer 2. So we need stuff like a CCR that is also optimized for layer 2 that can handle this huge amount of MAC addresses, the huge amount of layer 2 traffic. And how it looks like, we have our access points in the city, the outdoor access points. We have access point at the Kölnmesse trade fair. We have our access points in the stadium, hotel event locations. We have a small solution with a WAP called Business Spot. And we have only layer 2 connection to access point networks that do not belong to us. It's a municipal building or other hospitals or other hotels that have their own Wi-Fi network. We connect them all over our access network. This could be fiber, leased lines, tunnels over internet and so on. But we need a layer 2 connection to our portal switch. And the portal switch, you can see it's like a part of the access network because he is only doing switching of the layer 2 traffic. And the A3 Manager that is running in our installation on VMware is controlling all the portal router. And this is the main connection that we have for this access. And the A3 manager have load balancer, have the web portal, web admin, radius, SQL cluster, and so on. How is the VLAN distribution? How does all that layer 2 traffic is coming, and how we are doing redundancy, and how we are doing load balancing? The portal switch have many bridges. For each VLAN, one bridge, and you can see the connection to the access network. And on the other side, typically minimum 2 portal routers are connected to the same VLAN. VLAN is a location. VLAN could be also a customer, a different customer. And you see the blue or green or yellow, it's always two portal routers. And when a client sends an DHCP packet to get an IP address, this packet, let's say it's a client that is connected to the yellow VLAN, this packet will arrive to this and this portal router. And the portal router with a higher usage will answer later. So normally the client will get 2 response, yeah, but he will use the first one that arrives to him. So we can place 2 portal routers that have total different IP addresses, yeah, and the client will get the answer of the fastest one, and you can place a 3rd, a 4th, a 5th portal router in that network, so configured, and you have a total load balancing over all the routers. Okay, this is load balancing. If you want failover, you do that stuff twice. Yeah? So you have another portal switch, and you have another 2 portal routers that do that, and locations like the stadium, locations like the fair trade Kölnmesse are very huge with a lot of clients, and so we have typically 4 portal routers that are active. On each portal switch, 2 of them. So it's very easy. You don't need VRRP, you don't need spanning tree, you don't need anything of this stuff. You need only good layer 3 addressing in the network, and you need layer 2 connections. But what is with broadcast? So we used the feature horizon on the bridge, yeah, to divide all the broadcast from them, and all the interface, all the northbound interfaces are configured with the horizon 10, and all the interfaces on the south are configured as the horizon 20. And the same we have on the portal router. All the interfaces, all the VLAN interfaces are have the horizon 10. What happens now here? When a client wants access to the internet, he sends an HTTP request. He will be redirected of the portal router to the A3 manager web page, and then the A3 manager asks that portal router on which interface is this specific MAC address. And so we know that this specific MAC address is connected to VLAN 101, 102, or 103. And so we can decide what kind of portal page the user will get, what kind of other pages or vouchers and so on he can get. So this is also the possibility to divide customers with separated VLANs. On the A3 Manager, I'm sorry about it's a German version of the dashboard, but you can see now the English version on the booth of MikroNet, if you would like. And in the left top, we have the possibility to do this multi-tenant thing. We can divide the customer and the location. And this is my view. So I'm the root, I'm the top of all. And what you can see there is I'm in the complete NetCologne cloud. And I'm looking right now on the total of all traffic of all VLANs that are connected there. Then we have all the menus to configure the locations, to configure how many time he will get, how many traffic he will get, when he will disconnect it, are there MAC addresses that have free access, and so on and so on. And on the dashboard, I have all the rights. I can see all the traffic right now of the whole system. In the middle of the multi-tenant, of the tenant that is logged in, or of a specific location. And what you can see there is actually we had 47,000 tickets at this day, 24,000 users. So it looks like each user has made 2 tickets. He is logged in twice. It depends on he's longer in the city, has a free time of 1 hour or 2 hours. He's on the fair trade the whole day, 8 hours. The first time he logged in, he gets a free time of 2 hours. The second time he logged in, he gets a free time of 2 hours, and so on. And each time the free time is over, he can connect again. Why we are doing that? You all know, I don't have my smartphone with me, what a smartphone means when he has Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is home, yeah. Wi-Fi is used for synchronization, for updates and everything. And we have a little total breakdown of the network 2 years ago. There was a fair trade called DMXCO in Cologne. It's a typical marketing fair trade, and all the marketing guys are using Apple devices. And what was? It was an Apple iOS update. Yeah. And all the devices wanted to get this update. And at this time we had 2.5 gig download from the content servers of Apple. Yeah. And the network was a little bit busy. Okay. This was not a problem from us, but it was the problem of the Wi-Fi there. And in the presentation before, you've heard what is happening with Wi-Fi in such large locations or installations. And there was a lot of other access points they're doing their mess. And so it was a real nice thing to see that. Actually, we had at this time 4,300 users, and this was the traffic that was used at this time, or since midnight. And here we see also how many users, how many connections, and so on were connected there. And this is the history of the last days. And when you look, you see in the middle about 50,000 users per day. Some additional features, or the main features, is the individual characteristics for each location, for each VLAN. So bandwidth, volume, time credit, and so I can make separate for each location. I can place an advertisement. I can work with vouchers. We have self-service. We have Mac authentication. We have a PayPal integration on the Koelnmesse, so you can get the free ticket, the free time for 2 hours, use that 2 hours and log in, or you can get for a few bucks access the whole day with no limitation. Statistic reports and many things more that will come in the future. And I will show also some different web pages that we have there. The left and the blue right one, these are the typical NetCologne login pages. And here you can also place an advertisement sponsored by, and then you have the possibility to place a logo or something else. The red one left is the login in the stadium of the FC Cologne. It's totally identical with the web page of the FC Cologne. And the right one is WDR, the German television located in Cologne. And it's also 101, the page of the WDR web page that you can see normally. The powered network, you can see all the stuff that we have inside. I don't want to talk about everything that is inside the network, but you can see also that we are doing MPLS, VPLS connection there. We are layer 2 L2TB bridges that we are using, and we have also some WAPs as access points in that network, and a lot of fiber access switches that we are using. And the result, what do you think? How many users we have per year? You saw 55,000 per day. It's 20.5 million. 20.5 million users last year. And you see here how it started. In 2050, we started with our statistics. And actually, on the right side, you see the last 3 months. And it's typical when you look on the time frame last year. Here on that, oh, I have to use a pencil. When you see that time frame last year and this time frame this year, it's nearly the same. So we think that we will have also this year about 20 million users, and additionally we will get 200 outer access points more in this year. So, I hope I could give you some impressions, some ideas how to build your network. I would thank you and bye-bye. See you in Cologne next time, maybe.